let's start with you.
Hey, Coach. Hope you're doing all right. I was wondering from a technical standpoint what you've worked on most with Gardner Minshew heading into 2020 and where you've seen the most improvement from him.
Yeah, right now we're still early on in the process. We have, 5 practices under our belt, or I think this is going to be 6, whatever the case may be. So, a lot of the concepts we're throwing at him are new. Some of them are things that he's done in the past. So we're working right now on just kind of learning the system and applying the necessary fundamentals to it. Whether that's ball security, whether that's working on his feet, whether it's working on his timing. We're working on a little bit of everything. And at the same time, we're going to be smart. We're going to, what he does best, we're going to stick to what he does best and not ask him to change too much there. But there are some things we feel that can make a difference and help him out.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Jordan. Let's go to John Shipley and then D-Rock.
Hey, Coach. When you went back and watched Gardner's 2019 season, just what kind of impression did you get for the year he had and his skill set?
Yeah, I went back and I watched the tape on Gardner, but I try not to make too many. I don't want to jump to any conclusions or make any knee-jerk reactions just off of watching him on tape. I wanted to get to know him, and he's a guy to me that is very dedicated to his football, not just the football part of things, but if you take a look at how he's taken care of his body in the off season, and he's been committed there, and he's done a great job studying the offense, not just when coaches are in the room with them or in the virtual meetings with them, but he's taking the bull by the horns, studying it and then getting the other players kind of going, doing some walkthroughs and things like that. So that's been great. He's also a guy to me that is very gritty. When you look at his past and the things that he's been through in the game, I think I like to coach a player like that, somebody who's been through some things. He's not a guy that has had smooth sailing, so he's got a little bit of a chip on his shoulder there, and I like that. And the last thing is he's hungry. He wants to get better, not just in the system, but he wants to get better fundamentally, and he wants to continuing to improve each and every day, just little things. If we can get better at one thing each and every day, then he's got a chance to stack those successes moving forward and improve it, a big chunk of his game as you take it to the end of the season. We have to keep improving. We can't just go out in training camp and work on the fundamentals. That has to be something with the way, things were structured here in the off season and in training camp. We have to get better fundamentally throughout the entire year.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shipley. Let's go to D-Rock and then Osher.
Hey, Coach, when Bortles was here, he had a lot of balls batted down at the line of scrimmage despite being 6'5", but that's not the case for Gardner despite being right around 6 feet. Is that just a matter of seeing the lanes, or is that something that's just sort of innate for somebody, that he's had to deal with since he's obviously not the biggest guy?
Yeah, don't curse us on that now. That's that's something you work on. That's something you work on each and every year. So no jinxes. But what we've talked about in here is, I think, playing and on time. So being on feet, making sure your feet time up with the routes that are being run, with the pass concepts that are being run, obviously helps you there. I think as you move through progressions, whether it be a pure progression, left to right across the radio dial, or just moving through a true progression with an alert, whatever the case may be, to the back, I think you need to do that on time as well. So if it takes you 3 steps to reset your feet and move across the board, you're usually one step too late. If you can do it in 2, you have a chance to beat the defense in transition, and you gain 1 step against the defensive line where they don't have a chance to get their hands up as quickly. So if you're precise with your footwork and you're good with your timing, a guy like Gardner, who's an instinctive player, has a chance, regardless of his height, has a chance to get the ball out and find a throwing lane.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Hey, Coach. I'm wondering, how well did you know Jay before this, and what has that been like working with the guy you used to coach against across the sidelines?
Yeah, I knew Jay. I didn't know him very well. we had our battles up there in the NFC East, but I've always admired his work from afar. The system's good, and just diving into it, it's really good, and I'm excited to be in it. I'm here. I'm grateful for the opportunity. When you sit out a couple years, you have a chance to sit back and reflect. And I'm just trying to be the assistant I wanted, my guys to be for me in New York. I'm trying to do that for Coach Marone, and try to make Jay's vision come alive here, helping Gardner and Jay kind of be the bridge there and help Jay's vision come alive. So far it's been outstanding.
Thanks, Usher. Let's go over to Gene Fournette.
Hey, Coach. Could you obviously this offense has been struggling, not just for the last couple of years, but for quite a while. Based on what you have seen so far with Gardner's, development in camp, and I know it's a small sample size for you to look at, and what you have in terms of weapons, how do you view this offense for this coming year in terms of scoring capability? Because it certainly has had a lot of struggles in a lot of recent years, with the notable exception of 2017.
Yeah, I could probably talk for days on this, Gene. The first thing, I guess, is when you come into a new year, I think the most important thing you need to do is hit the reset button, because nothing carries over year to year, good, bad, or ugly, right? So everything is starting new this year. So that's probably the first thing. I'll say that I like what I've seen so far. I'm not going to talk about other guys' positions and things like that. So that's not my job, but I think there's a lot of good positive attitudes out there on the field. I think there's a great environment for teaching and for learning and for communication out there. I feel good. I'm positive, for what I've seen. I think, it's the ultimate team game. And, so I think it's not just on one guy. It can never be on one guy. We all know how it works, where one guy gets a lot of the pat on the backs and a lot of the blame if it doesn't go well, and the pat on the backs if it does go well. But it's the ultimate team game, and all, the entire roster, they have a lot to do with the success of the quarterback. And but I do think Gardner is a guy that, he has the instincts on where to go with the football, and he's an accurate player, and he's got a lot of he makes the game fun. It's definitely not a death march with with Gardner, and that those kind of things make it fun to me. Like I told you before, he's a fun player to coach.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Gene. And let's finish up with Mark Long.
Hey, Coach, I'm just curious. You talked about spending your time out of the league, sitting back and reflecting. Can you just, how difficult was that? Or was that a good time when you got family and kids and whatnot? Or was that a difficult time, wondering, what's next?
Yeah, you know what? It was great from the fact that I had a chance to learn who my kids are and their personalities. That part of it was great. And, we actually kind of moved down here. I lived a little south of here for those 2 years, so got used to the Florida humidity, I guess, as best as I could. But I'm a coach, and that was my first love, and it, my wife kind of knows she's fighting an uphill battle right there. But it was great being home, and I was at the point where I just wanted to get back in, man. I wanted to coach. It didn't matter what I was coaching. I'm blessed to have the opportunity here, and I told guys the other day I would have took a job coaching a monkey how to do hopscotch if I had to. I just wanted to get back in. I love coaching, and I just love seeing and being around players and helping them get better, doing everything I can to help those guys get better. And I look forward to doing it.
How far south, for those of us who don't know, like me?
About 51 minutes.
51. Do you keep that house? Is she still there? Are you commuting?
No, we're up a little closer now. Yeah, we're up a little bit closer. Good spot. Great place to live. Great people.
Easy, Mark. He's not looking for a roommate, okay? All right, thank you, guys. We'll see everybody out at practice. Coach, appreciate the time. I'll be sending a text shortly regarding the maintenance day that Coach mentioned yesterday during the press conference. So we'll see everybody out there shortly. Thank you.
All right, thanks, guys.